Good evening, all the parents, students, for today's session. Uh, it's been a wonderful time that we've got one of the prestigious institute today to address us. All of you must have heard about IIM Kozhikode, which is the prestigious institute not only in India, but it also has its name outside India as well. Primarily known for the management education, the kind of curriculum they have, and the industry connects that they have in this particular segment. And today, for this session, we have the esteemed guest from IIM Kozhikode, and it is none other than Professor Ananda Kuttan. He is currently serving as Dean Programs and Managing Editor for IIM Kozhikode, Society and Management Review. He is the Professor of Marketing Management, formerly served as Mentor Professor at Indian Institute of Management, Kozhikode, for 2 years. More than 15 years he has spent in managing critical administrative portfolios in academic institutions. This includes Program Chair of MBA, Admissions, Executive MBA, Short Duration Executive Training, experience in starting new programs, and development and managing new campuses. So he has a vast experience, not only in academic area, but also in various administrative and consulting services. His core areas include innovation and design thinking, consumer behavior, marketing management, marketing research, and advanced methods in marketing research, customer relationship management, and customer centricity. So if you look at Professor's core competency is into marketing and CRM. He has done his PhD and MBA from Cochin Institute, University of Science and Technology, after his engineering from Government Engineering College, Thrissur. On this note, I welcome Professor Ananda Kuttan. In fact, he's been so busy, and on our request, he has taken time out from his busy schedule and, wanted to address the students. So we definitely would like to hear from the horse's mouth as to what the IIM Kozhikode's BMS program that they have introduced this year is all about. So over to you, Professor. In the meantime, what I will do is I will collate a lot of questions from the students, from various parents, and I will throw you those questions, and probably we can have as well as as much as interactive session as possible. Over to you, Professor. I would first like to understand, and you could enlighten us about what is the IIM Kozhikode's BMS program all about.
Thank you for this opportunity. It's always a pleasure to meet a lot of prospective students and parents. You might have a lot of concerns. This is like a opportunity for you to clarify this directly from the Dean programs. I now serve as Dean programs. So sending an email or a WhatsApp or then speaking to the other sources, this is much superior. So you can get an instantaneous answer. So what is this Bachelor of Management Studies? As you would know, we are number 3 in India as far as NIRF ranking is concerned. We are accredited internationally by multiple agencies, and we feature quite regularly in almost all the media rankings. So we are known for our MBA program and our EMBA program. MBA program is 28 batches old. Currently, we are now selecting our 29th batch of MBA. EMBA program is almost 15 batches old. And we have a large number, almost 800 students join our EMBA an year and 600 students join our MBA an year. In addition, we have a PhD program as well as short duration training programs. So why do we do a 4-year undergraduate program? Why do we not do an IPM? So that's the kind of questions that many a time I get.
Yes.
See, as of now, we are undergoing a major disruption as far as our education scenario is concerned. On one side, we have the national education policy. The government is redesigning the undergrad program itself, the structure, the content, the curriculum, the approach that is being redesigned. On other side, what we find is many of our students do not have that many options. If they don't want to do a professional program like engineering or medicine or LLB, what is available is typically a 3-year program. Many of them, they might eventually want to do an MBA, but what do we do after my +2? So they will do some undergrad, and then after that undergrad, they would join an MBA program. So why do they do it? It's not that they don't like a management career, not that they have any problems with being in business. That's what they want. But then such high quality programs were not available in India. So we had a 3-year program, the traditional program like economics, psychology, English, so many traditional programs. Many of them were 3-year programs. And they were also not very integrated with the academic systems of the rest of the world. For example, suppose if you want to, after your degree, you want to do a program in US, you will find that, well, there are some mismatches. If you want to spend a semester in one of the foreign universities, you will find that the calendar in India is not matching with the calendar in Europe or in US. So these are all some of the limitations we had in our academic system. In addition, we find that our knowledge base is also undergoing a big disruption. I'm a professor of marketing. Nowadays, marketing is all about digital promotion and marketing. And nobody really advertises in newspapers because we feel there is no enough return that we are getting out of that investment. So everything is digital. Internet has disrupted things. Now it is artificial intelligence, machine learning. So the kind of knowledge that we aspire for is also very, very different in a modern, globalized, networked world, which is enabled also nowadays by AI. So nowadays we hardly visit a bank. Instead, what do we do? So we use our applications in our mobile phone. So UPI, sometimes when I go abroad, I really miss a UPI. So this is a very different world altogether. To survive and to do well in this new world, we need new academic programs. So that's why we thought, why do we only stick with an MBA program and wait for our students to complete a 3-year degree? So why not we offer them the opportunity of doing a 4-year undergraduate program leading to Bachelor of Management Studies immediately after our +2. So we are very optimistic that there will be some very bright, very career-oriented, very clear students, students with a clear aspiration. This is what we want to do for the rest of the life. So why not then join a BMS? Do a 4-year program. The 4-year program is designed in such a way that you will be able to get a lot of variety of choices. So to major in management studies and then also do subsequent minors. For many of the PG, MBA, there are this concept of specialization. So we offer this minors in economics, a minor in liberal studies in management. If you would like to learn data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, that also is available there. And if you are interested in sales and marketing or in finance, that's also available there. So we try to provide the best bouquet of courses, the best quality education, and a best opportunity to set yourself up for success in this 4 years program. So what we do is that our program, we will offer you courses which are basic in nature, some of them preparatory, fundamental, foundation courses. We will offer you courses like marketing and finance and organization behavior, human resources management strategy. And we will also offer courses which is typically offered at an MBA level. And if you are so interested, you may also be able to take up courses which are of at a PhD level or at a doctoral level. Now, it's about your interest. so that you are able to explore multiple academic disciplines and make a choice. This is what I want to do for my career. That career could be, let's say, I want to do a PhD. I want to kind of continue and do an MBA subsequently, or I want to straight away go and get employed in a company. So all these options are available to you. Such options are not available if you join a traditional program, like let's say a BA in economics. What do? You have to continue in that BA in economics and finally graduate as an economics graduate. So this program would offers you an opportunity to study a variety of subjects and then decide what is it that you want to take up further as a minor. As of majors are concerned, we offer only management studies immediately, but within that, you get to choose from marketing or in finance or in strategy or in operations or in supply chain. So what we bring in is what IIM Kozhikode is known for is our quality MBA program. So whatever students learn for an MBA program, we are trying to translate that into an undergraduate program. So that is basically the idea. So I believe more or less I have kind of like given you an overview of this program. It is
Thank you,
very
sir.
new. I don't know whether there is any other university has attempted something similar, but after we launch the program, we find other institutions also announcing it. It's very new. So we are very excited about it. Why are we excited about it? Because this is an opportunity for us to get
So,
some of
Professor,
the brightest
at this
students.
at
Yeah.
this moment, I would like you to pause and I want you to ask a very important questions which a lot of students are also raising in. Like, what is the exam pattern of the selection, the basically admission process, the selection?
Yeah.
As we believe, a lot of students has there is a SAT exam, there is a IIT JEE mains score that you would be considering, and also IIM Kozhikode will be also having their own BMS entrance exam. So would you like to, throw some light on what kind of exam pattern would be there? Or if you are taking the admissions through SAT or JEE mains, then what kind of cutoff, anything that you would like to tell to the students so that it can help?
Of course. So it's very important for a program like this to have diverse perspectives and students from multiple backgrounds. And we are not planning to have a batch of only students with a science group. That's not what we would like to have. So to attract that, we have enabled multiple options for applying to the program. And the tests that we consider are SAT, ACT, JEE, as well as in case there are students who may have missed out on any of those tests, we offer you with an opportunity to take up our own test also. So our test is basically having two components. It will be held on 22nd of June at various centers in India. So this will be an objective type test, the same as the kind of test that you would expect from CAT or, um, most of this exams or JEE, it will be a computer-based test. It will have two different sections. One section will be verbal ability. If you want to do well in management, you need to have a good language. So the questions you can expect to have from basic grammar, vocabulary, and reading comprehension. Basically, we limit the questions to what is probably expected of a 10 standard student. A student having done 10 standard in a CBSE or ICSE may be able to do that. So if you are rather proficient in reading a subject which you are unfamiliar with, let's say there is an article written on the economic policy of the country, or there is a newspaper on the India's defense priorities, or on psychology. So you should be able to read, understand, and then answer some of the questions which are given below. That is what the reading comprehension is. Suppose there are sentences, you need to be able to arrange those sentences in a logical order so that they come together. Then vocabulary, you should be able to recognize words which normally a person who reads newspapers or who watches television programming, watches current affairs, or reads some books are familiar with. Then the basic grammar. So this is the section corresponding to verbal ability. The pattern you can expect to have the same kind of questions, not the same difficulty of questions, which is typically found in a common admission test. So the kind of pattern of questions would be very similar to what you find in CAT. But the difficulty level may not be of that same level. Now, the second section will be quantitative ability, where again we will stick to what is covered in 10th level, number systems, algebra, geometry, basics of coordinate geometry, some elements of trigonometry, right? So then mensuration, statistics and probability, that's what is covered. Now, the questions will be mostly application. Like if you look at CBSE and ICSE 10th level examination, some questions may be theoretical, some questions may be application, but here questions will be application type of questions, where are you able to apply a formula or a principle or a certain logic in choosing which is the right answer from available 4 set of choices. Now, the difficulty level, I told you, right, we want a person having done reasonably well in 10th standard to do well. That's the idea. Now, ultimately, what happens is that this is a competitive examination. So we have to interview maybe the top 10% of all the candidates who take the test. So if it is difficult or if it is easy, it doesn't really make much of a difference because it will be difficult for everyone and it will be easy for everyone. But please understand that this is not restricted to somebody who pursue the JE route or somebody who takes a science stream. So we want you to have the basic math, whatever you cover in 10 standard. So if you have prepared for an IPM entrance examination, that should be more or less enough. And maybe just check the pattern of questions, not the difficulty level of questions, which appear in CAT. So that's what we have. Now, what do we do with the other test? We expect that a majority of our applicants would come from our own entrance examination, but there may be other candidates. We don't want them to kind of take a test mandatorily. So what we will do is among the applicants, we will standardize it and we will decide on the score. So ultimately, what will be the cutoff for JEE? I can't say. It depends on the scores of the applicants. So my suggestion is that since if you are having any concerns about it, so you can also take this test so that you get an opportunity to improve your score. So we will take the higher of the 2 scores that you submit. So we have asked you to take submit up to 2. It doesn't mean all of you have to take 2, but up to 2 you can submit. We will take the higher of the 2.
And Professor,
yes.
Any kind of weightage for, let's say, 10th, 12th, and the entrance,
Yes.
and then interview. So what kind of percentage, ballpark figure, if you can tell the weightage about the selection?
So we'll be giving the maximum weightage to the entrance course, which is standardized, but you can expect, let's say, 20% weightage to the 10th and the 12th standard. So those who have done academically well, they will certainly get an advantage. But if your scores are a little low, you may have to compensate it by the by the performance in the entrance test. So those shortlisted candidates, we will have a personal interview. It will be held in various cities in India, primarily Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Calcutta, Kozhikode, Cochin, like that. So this personal interview we would assess your communication skills, your ability to convince us, persuasiveness, and then whether you are able to think on your feet and answer the questions thrown at you. The usual kind of interviews, it won't be a stress interview. It will be a friendly conversation to understand whether you are the right person for a program like this. Because interpersonal skills are extremely important in a management program. So based on that, the selection will be made.
And any number of questions that will be asked in the BMS entrance exam?
So we are planning to have a 2-hour examination. So you will have 120 minutes. So you can expect around 90 questions. So there is a team that is working on it. So in our system, what happens is this is something considered to be very sacred. So therefore, even though I am the dean, I will also be seeing the question paper at the time of the examination only. So that's why, surprises in terms of questions, maybe 5 questions more or 5 questions less can be expected. But difficulty level, you don't expect any surprises. So we don't want to create a test where 90% of the students will not be able to answer 50% of the questions. No, our ideal question is something where the majority will be able to answer. That's the kind of questions. If you don't answer it, then how do we evaluate you?
Right.
That's the point.
And a lot of students like Ayush, Ahuja, and other students are asking about, the campus, like will the course be held in the regular IIM Kozhikode campus, or it will be in the Kochi campus? So can you tell us about some campus life and where the course will be actually held after the selection?
This is a decision which we spend a lot of time contemplating the pros and cons. So we had two options, to have a residential program or to have a city program. So finally, in our limited wisdom, we have decided to make it a city program. Like, there are quite a lot of very popular undergraduate programs which are held in a city, because it is providing you with opportunities of industry interaction, travel, and there is a quality of life which is very, very difficult in a campus, particularly when you are of a certain age. So we have imagined it to be a to be a city campus, where if the students would like to have hostel accommodation, we will make it available. So those outstation candidates will get hostel accommodation, but that is their choice. But if you would like to be a day scholar, well, that is also there. And by the way, Cochin is one of the most beautiful, with a city with a very high quality of life and one of the safest cities in India.
And when we talk about the entrance exams, like other exams, will there be negative marking, and what kind of questions?
There will be negative marking. The pattern will be similar to CAT.
Right.
It is not like one question you get it wrong, you will be having the same weight as a correct question. So usually 1/4 will be the weightage for a question that you don't get it right. So that's a pattern that is done. So if you get one answer right, you will get 4 marks, and if you don't, you will lose 1 mark. That's a weightage.
Okay. And when the new exams and new patterns are announced, generally the institute who is conducting the particular course uh, has sample papers uploaded on their curriculum website page. So will there be some kind of
In a
a
few
sample
days,
paper?
in a few days' time, you will be able to take a sample question paper.
Mhm.
That's
Uh,
ready. So a couple of days' time, it will be uploaded.
That's a good point for the students, because a lot of students have been asking those questions that, okay, will there be any sample paper kind of a thing? Also, majority of the students are asking that, in CBSE, in Maharashtra State Board and other boards, they are taking one more round of improving their marks kind of a exam again for the board exam. So, and those results will be out in around mid or end of July. So how and when will the selection process begin?
See, June 20th, 22nd is the exam. We will take another 2 weeks to finalize the results. If the improvement opportunities available and the scores are available before that date, we can certainly consider that. But if it is towards the early part of August or the end of July, it becomes a little tricky for us, because we have to organize the interview. So as of now, I'm not able to give you a commitment, but we can certainly consider if the results come out in a reasonable period of time.
And Professor, when we see IIM Kozhikode's overall curriculum in MBA, and we always have very high regards because it has a very rigorous academics. So how does the BMS program balance the theoretical learning and practical exposure during this period?
See, we have only one cadre of faculty members. We are not planning to have a separate UG faculty and the PG faculty. So the BMS students will be taught by the same faculty, whether they are internal faculty or once in a while we call an adjunct faculty. The pedagogy is also unlikely to be any different. The reason is that we believe that the students that we are going to have will certainly be able to thrive under the kind of systems that we are currently having, and we are not planning to make it dumb down any of the content or the pedagogy for them. So the structure, the content, the curriculum, it will all be very similar to what is offered. Let's say I teach marketing management. If I teach marketing management for BMS students, I will more or less offer marketing management at the same level. I'll peg it at the same level without any customization because they are younger. Because my experience in being the father of two girls who grew up, I find that 18 years old are perfectly capable of understanding anything complex. So
Right.
that
Out
is
of the
it.
box.
Then, yeah, in addition to that, we have a mandatory industry internship, which is designed into the program. And we also actively encourage students to take up multiple industry internship live projects. In IIMs, generally, students do multiple live projects so that their biodata is enhanced and they will get corporate exposure. And IIM Kozhikode is having a large alumni network. And then, see, when you talk about placements, what is seen outside is only that 3-4 days of interviews that happen with the companies. But for us, this is like a year-round program. So right from the day they join, they will get a lot of exposure. Alumni will come. We will bring in corporate leaders. There will be competitions, case competitions, simulations, case studies. So that's a kind of nurturing. What we are excited is now we get an opportunity to spend 4 years with a group of students. And we don't get an opportunity to complain about the undergrad program they have already undergone. So that is what we are excited about, 4 years.
Right. Professor, also when we talk about the 4 years, it's going to be a very exciting, opportunity for all the students across, because the kind of thought process I'm sure that must have gone behind, designing this particular program. Also, but when you talk about this program we conducted in city, so like campus, would you be assisting the students for the hostels, or how would be, this program, like, will the student have the hostel facilities and other things, or they have to fetch on their own? So can you just throw a light on that?
Outstation participants, Institute would run hostels for them, and we will arrange transportation for them if they would like to stay in Institute hostels. But if they would like to find their own accommodation, we can facilitate that. But hostels will certainly be there. The choice is theirs. In residential campuses, being a resident in the campus is mandatory. But that is very common in India, but in many of the foreign universities, like undergrads also get an option to whether stay in the hostel or outside.
And what kind of fee structure that one can see, what kind of expenses they would incur in the 4 years of the curriculum?
See, what we thought about the fee is there are two choices in any program offering. Either you offer more for more, or you offer less for less. IIM Kozhikode, considering our reputation, we have decided that we will go for more. The fees is pegged at around 7 lakh rupees per year, which is all inclusive. We have benchmarked it against the fee in some of the better known academic institutions in the country, in the field of engineering, in the field of medicine, in the field of law, like that only. Well, compared to such better known institutes, this is on par. And for that fee you pay, we offer the best quality education. And the best IIM Kozhikode can offer you, or any other program, the best teachers, the best content, and the best quality program. Of course, there will be scholarships for the toppers in the batch, as well as there will be scholarship based on whether they are able to afford it or not. Government has also many scholarships.
So I'm sure, like MBA, there will be financial assistance or
There will
student
be financial
loans. Yeah,
assistance.
right. And like MBA, we have this summer placement, summer internship,
Yeah.
then final placements. Obviously, the alumni and the student committees have the PlaceCom committee and all. So I'm sure there will be a lot of placement assistance, and those are the things that will be taken care of.
What we call in IIM Kozhikode is we have a function called CARE, Corporate Access, Readiness and Engagement. We call it CARE rather than placements. Essentially, it is placements. Students play an active role there. There is a committee that the students themselves elect, and sometimes they withdraw some of the committee members also. We have a team of officers who assist them. The assistance is at two level. One is the corporate readiness and engagement. See, the internally, students will get training on industry deep dives, in improving their resume, input on how do we participate in a group discussion or in an interview, how do we stay on track with the emerging trends. So these inputs are there. Secondly, we also reach out to a lot of companies. Almost 150 top companies come to IIM Kozhikode for our existing placements. So they get multiple opportunities for interviews or participating in this offers. And we are very optimistic that India, we have a growth story. Every company, whatever the newspapers say, they have requirements. All my students, whenever I meet them, they complain that we are not able to get the right quality people. So there is going to be a requirement, and we connect both of them. That's the way in which we operate.
And Professor, if you look at currently the ecosystem in India, where government of India is encouraging a lot of startups, entrepreneurship programs. So how the institute will assist or guide student to focus on entrepreneurship or start their own startups. So can you just
There are two ways in which we can assist that. One is that we have an IIM Kozhikode entity called LIV, Live. The Live is an incubator. So Live supports a lot of startups, converting their initial ideas into a business proposal, as well as helping them scale up. Sometimes the Live also find them funding, initial investments, and sometimes Live also invest in some of the promising ventures. This is one. They do quite a lot of programs along with one student activity group called ESL. So both of them work together to promote a culture of startups, both motivation as well as guiding them through the process of setting up an organization. Secondly, in our academic program, along with the subjects like AI and ML and sustainability, we also have a strong thread of entrepreneurship. Whether you start up or not, even if you are in a company, your success in your career depends on, are you able to come up with the new ideas and then persuade other people to buy into that idea and implement that idea. So this is a strong career thread. Like, in fact, I've been teaching a course called Design Thinking for the last many years. So this course is about identify an opportunity from the society, then convert that opportunity into a set of need statements, and then create a solution. It could be a product or it could be a service, and then make a business plan around it. So these are the kind of inputs that we have. Well, ultimately, there is also an element of aptitude, not just about having ideas or resources. Well, as of now, some students, certainly during their MBA and even after their MBA, they seek entrepreneurship. But our experience is that a lot of EMBA students, they gravitate towards entrepreneurship compared to a regular, younger batch of students.
Right. There is a couple of students like Roshan who is asking, like, they have completed their 12th in 2024 and 2023. So what is the criteria that you are looking for? Like, say, student who has completed or passed 12th 2 years back, will they be considered?
Yes.
Or if they have, so what is the, kind of cutoff year that you have kept for
2 years is the
2 years.
2 years
So
is fine with us.
primarily, somebody who has passed 12th in 23, after that, like 23, 24,
23.
and 25, or will it be 24, 25?
2 years from the date of exam is what we consider. There is a reason behind it. These batches work well when there is a homogeneity. So at that younger age, when you have students who are 18 and 24, it is a little awkward. So that's why we would like to kind of limit that.
Right. And
It's not that we disallow any student to apply. They can apply, they can take the test, and they can attend the interview. And if they are exceptionally good, there is always an exception. But ideally, if you ask who's my ideal student persona, I might say this is it.
And Professor, a very $1 million question, which a lot of students are asking: after BMS, will they get assistance in the mainstream MBA program? Do they have to appear for CAT again, or will there be any simultaneous coaching provided to crack the CAT during these BMS, so that they can, get through the coveted MBA program from IIM Kozhikode?
A very, very interesting question. Like MBA has become kind of like a brand, and the 3 letters are more important than sometimes the learning that they take away. So what is that finally a student would take away? I believe the learning rather than the certificate. So if the learning is not there, the certificate doesn't make much of sense. So we offer the best of courses. We offer the best of faculty, and some of the courses will also be at the MBA level. If I could give you a broad idea, student having done this program will cover courses up to the first year of an MBA program. What is covered in the first year of an MBA program will be certainly covered. So the same courses, the same kind, the same credits, and we also enable credit transfer. The national education policy allow credit transfer, so that it should be possible for the students to kind of seamlessly do the courses in the second year and get an MBA. Now, ideally, what is it that as an institute who father a child would like our students to do? We would like you to take up a job and then work for 2-3 years and then come back and do an MBA. Because all over the world, MBA program is benefiting a lot of students with work experience. That is ideally what we would like to have. Not like immediately do an MBA, because for finding an entry-level position in a company, an MBA is not necessary. They will have enough skills and knowledge in order to be employed. But if they want to do an MBA, that is possible. Now, it is not an IPM program. That is not a part of our program vision. But will there be an opportunity for them to take up courses in an MBA? Yes, such opportunities will be there. But can they continue into a 5th year and earn an MBA? That is not the way we have designed the program. That's not what we have considered it. But probably if they take extra courses and if they subsequently want to do an MBA, we have a 2-year MBA online, EPGP, which is offered face-to-face for executive candidates. And we also have a postgraduate program in business leadership, which is a 1-year MBA. So this is what we anticipate the students to have. But it's difficult to probably convince a large society with a, kind of very set notions. So that is sometimes it may be a little difficult, but this is our program. It's not an IPM.
Right, true. Very, very well articulated. In fact, there is a very interesting question from Evelyn. When we see, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. That's the saying. So apart from academics, will there be any cultural activities or any other, club activities that I'm sure the institute must have planned during this curriculum?
Having 100 students who are 18 to 20 years old, and how can it be a dull campus, right?
Yes. True.
So look at a campus life, it's more about co-curriculars. It's a semester program. We are not planning to have a trimester program. Students will have sufficient time and sufficient opportunities to have co-curriculars and extracurricular activities. Of course, I will admit honestly that probably the extent of co-curricular activities can be a lot more if it were a residential campus. But at the same time, it is not like some of the DU colleges don't have any co-curriculars or extracurriculars, right? They are they are very vibrant and thriving in terms of extra and co-curriculars. So please don't have any concerns about it. We expect our students to be very, very active and very dynamic in such things.
During the course, is there any outside India opportunity or any collaboration with other universities? I'm sure because after NEP and government decisions, a lot of collaboration is happening between the foreign universities and Indian universities campuses. So is there, are you seeing anything that, because a lot of undergraduate programs are offering this, especially in the management, the BBA, BMS side. So are you looking forward to any such kind of collaboration and opportunity for students to have exposure of international exposure rather?
We have partnerships with a number of universities, almost all part of the world. So spend a semester abroad is an easiest ways in which a student can experience life abroad. But that is up to their choice. We will facilitate that if they meet a certain academic cutoff. And then, of course, they can spend a semester abroad. These are exchange programs. And we also have periodic visits, foreign visits, like, for example, 1 or 2 weeks, which we do as a part of many of our academic program. So that can also be contemplated. As of now, we have not finalized the schedule for international visits, but spending a semester abroad is already included in the program, in the curriculum.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So students, rest assured you have an opportunity to have international exposure also. Students, those who have joined late, let me just summarize this, that okay, basic maths, people those who are not from mathematics background or those who have not taken mathematics in 11th and 12th, not to worry, there is a mathematics aptitude test will be there, which will include mathematics, but up to the 10th level. So that is rest assured. People, those who have joined late have been asking about the hostel facilities. Yes, there is a hostel facility which will be facilitated by the institute. So, and for people, those who have missed, they can definitely, see this particular, because we are putting this as a YouTube live session also. So people, those who have missed out of the earlier discussions and suggestions and information from professor, they can definitely look at it. So lastly, professor, I'm sure you have the other commitments as well, but I would like to ask you, what is your message to the students and parents? Because parents and students are, frankly speaking, they are so much confused about whether IPM or BMS. And so what should be your, piece of advice to them as to how an undergraduate program should be looked at?
I would say there are quite a lot of options nowadays in the undergraduate space also. There is engineering, medicine, good universities are there. It is not like the time when I used to complete my +2 and look at the options. So my suggestion is look at your strength. What is it that you are good at? What is it that you find fascinating? The world of business, does it fascinate you? Being a manager, is that something that you find it interesting? Are you good with the people? Are you able to speak? Are you able to reach out to other people? Are you able to work together with the people? If you are kind of like a good people person with a strong analytical skills, and if you would like to see the results of your work almost immediately, because the business provides you with an opportunity, you have an idea, you implement that idea, and either it will succeed or will fail. If you are a person who get excited about such opportunities for fast growth, of course, taking a little bit of risk. BMS is a program for you. Management studies is a career for you. But if you are fascinated with the programming and if you are more comfortable in trying out your ideas on a computer terminal, probably a BTech in computer science might be suitable for you. So follow your passion. That's what I would like to say. All of you have some idea, right? The world now gives you an opportunity to experiment, which was never available for me or Mr. Sachin during our time.
Right.
So you get such options. So even if you kind of take a plunge, BMS will give you that flexibility. Suppose later you want to try civil services or you want to do an economics PhD, that options are available there. So that is the benefit because we give you multiple options. Trust your instinct. Many parents push their children. Well, certainly that is good because without their pressure and without their motivation, none of us would have been where we are. But at the same time, try to find more about the program. Talk to some of the alumni in IIM Kozhikode. If you would like to come and have a visit, like Mr. Hardy Joseph is in Cochin.
Yep.
So come to Cochin, visit the campus, talk to us, and make an informed choice. Any point of time you would like to know about it. See, we are a top academic institute and we want people who are convinced and have really chosen to be at IIM Kozhikode, and not because, this looks attractive and it looks glamorous. No, no.
Right.
We want people to be committed to the program. So if there is any question, feel free to reach out to me personally. Come to the campus. Learn about whatever that you have. Any question you have, you ask. Send an email, call us. We'll be able to help you out. Informed choice is the key.
In fact, we are setting up a separate helpline for the IIM Kozhikode because it's a coveted, sought after institute and the program. So we ourselves are training the counselors at our end, and we are setting up a special helpline for, students who really want to get into it and want to have more information about it. They can definitely write to us at info@timeforeducation.com. And if we are not able to address, we will definitely seek advice from professor and we will definitely resolve your queries at the earliest.
Sometimes it is very exciting to join a program and it's early years. Like I still remember when IPM was started. So some of the first batches, they become very entrepreneurial and really make it big. So that's an opportunity available for you, but make an informed choice. That's all what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
And Professor, one last question. What are the number of seats that you are looking for this particular program?
We have decided on a notional number of 120 because being a government institute, we also have to follow the constitutional mandate of reservations in various categories and all that. So that's a notional number that we have, but at the same time, it is not like we should have 120. That's not the idea. So we are looking for some of the best talent for our first batch. That's a maximum we will be going 120.
There is one question from Syed Irfan, which like NEP, it specifies that 1 year, after 1 year you get a certificate, after 2 years you are getting a diploma, after 3 years you get a degree, and after 4 years you get a degree with honors. So do the institute also has that kind of arrangement, or it's a blanket 4-year program?
See, national education policy and the norms are applicable to every academic institute in the country. And once it gets fully implemented, we have to follow it. So that's a mandate. But at the same time, the certificate is available after 1 year for those who choose to exit. So ideally, if you want to get the most benefit out of it, it may be good for you to exit after 4 years.
Yes.
After having done the summer internship, after going through the placement,
Yes.
you should be employed and exiting out of it. But for a variety of reasons, if you would like to exit after 3 years, you will get a UG degree, BMS without honors. That would also make you eligible for applying for another PG or even find employment. Anything less than that, after 2 years and all that, it may not give you the value for the the time you spend. I will not say value for money, but the money is not the most important factor here. The time, the effort, you yourself are the investment, right? So it may not really give you a kind of like a benefit if you exit after 1 year or 2 years, but possibility is certainly there.
So students, it is utmost important for you to, go through that particular churning, particular program and the entire curriculum in its entirety, because that will give you a lot of exposure in terms of not only the theoretical knowledge, but the practical applications. And believe me, when you go in the culture of IIMs, placement is just a byproduct. I mean, a lot of questions I am getting, like, tell me the figures of the placements that you will get and all that. And believe me, students, placement is just going to be a byproduct of what you are going to study and learn in the IIM Kozhikode campus, because that's how the particular curriculum and the way the mentors are there. Because I know I personally have studied, 25 years back from Mr. Debashish Chatterjee. He was my professor in IIM Lucknow at that time in 99, 2000. So I know the kind of mentors behind this particular institute and the kind of, the work or the thought process that goes in designing the curriculum. So rest assured, placements are just the byproduct of it. Are paid internships available because fees are kind of high? So Professor, another point that the students are asking, do you have any kind of paid kind of assistance or any scholarships that you are planning to, financial assistance? And loan is one part of it, but any scholarships that you have, anything?
Loan is never a problem because of the reputation of the institute and our authenticated programs. Assistance, financial assistance come in several ways. One sort of assistance is the merit assistance, which is provided by the institute for the toppers in every batch. So if you are able to maintain the position of being a topper, don't have any back papers and all that, you will certainly be getting a scholarship that would cover the substantial part of your fee. Second kind of assistance that you have is depending on your financial position. You call it the merit cum means. So you will have scholarships depending on the specific category you belong to and your income level. There are scholarships available. Governments of state governments and central governments have multiple scholarships. Corporate scholarships are also there. As of now, the program is not yet started, right? The corporate scholarships, it depends on once the students are there only, we can also negotiate and talk to the businesses to consider scholarships. Now, internships, yes, there are, if you look at the program, we have one mandatory internship, which will be facilitated by the institute between the third and the fourth year, just like the MBA internship during summer between the first and second year. That's a mandatory internship facilitated by the institute, just like that's what you call as a summer placement. And looking at our MBA program, almost everybody would get a significant stipend. But then, of course, there are some people who want that particular role and then they prioritize that role over the amount of money also.
Yes.
So stipend internship is unlikely to be an issue. Now, when it comes to placement, what us or any other institute can do is we can offer opportunities for you to be considered by a company. So the company have their own ways of conducting an aptitude test, a group discussion, an interview. Some will get a huge salary. Some may get a little less. That purely depends on one, the role that is available and you are fit with that role. What else can I say about that? Right. So we want our students also to have that confidence that they are able to do well in life. It's not about the job that you get and the first salary you get, right? The return happens over how many years? 25 years, 30 years. And once after a program, once you join for a job, then it's not that you're going to remain on that job forever, right? So you keep looking at other options, quit, become a serial entrepreneur. So that happens. I'm very optimistic about it because this placements is much more important to the institute than to the individual. See, we have a certain reputation to keep. So we will try our best, put our best foot forward in order to ensure that our students would do well in their career.
Right, Professor. Right. So, couple of repeated questions that we have. Yes, student loan, we definitely facilitate. The institute will definitely help on that. Then BMS, international opportunity, we have already covered that. Financial support, definitely we have covered on that. So I think now we are getting a lot of repetitive questions. So students, those who have joined late, what I would recommend is that this video is going to be there on YouTube. So probably, that will be helpful to you in terms of anything that you require. And as I have already said, there will be a helpline and you can write to us at info@timeforeducation.com. And we will pass on any queries that we are not able to answer. We'll definitely seek advice from Professor. So there will be a sample test which will be uploaded on the IIMK BMS portal. There are 120 students intake. There are going to be 2 sections, typically the English as well as quant. Students, those who have not taken mathematics in 11th and 12th, don't worry. The mathematics is going to be up to the 10th level, but on the application side, right? So you'll not get straight away the sums. You will be asked like an application. So those are the basic things that you need to keep in mind. Apart from that, students seeking international opportunity through this particular program, there is a student exchange program also facilitated by the institute. So there is a international exposure. There is a lot of practical exposures in terms of the new technologies. And once you go through the campus, definitely you will get a lot of insight. So on this note, let me thank you, Professor. And it's been almost an hour, and we have had some of the excellent interaction with Professor, and the kind of experience Professor has, the kind of pedagogy, the kind of curriculum setup is there in IIMK is commendable. And thank you so much for this deep insight into the BMS program, and it will definitely benefit thousands of students online as well as offline, or students, those who want to see it later. Please do go through the channel, and we'll definitely help you out reaching to the institute.
Thank you.
On this note, thank you so much.
Thank
you. Any passing note or any end closing message, Professor, that would like to you would like to give to the student, and we'll then end the session.
Prepare well, brush up your basics, go back to your 10th standard mathematics, English, right? Preparation always helps. It's not about simply mathematically brilliant, but prepare well. And, choose a program that you love. Stay with your intuition. That's it. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. And we look forward to, taking this program a flying start. And